Men will just walk up to me and tell me that I can stay with them. Like, obviously, I'll be walking down the street clearly homeless because I'm carrying way too much stuff to not be. And multiple men have stopped me and let me know that I could come stay with them. And you know why they make those kinds of offers? They think you must be desperate. Because you know what? A lot of homeless women are. I'm actually homeless because I'm not desperate, but that's a different conversation. The point of this video is, ladies, if a man, just a random man from the street, no matter how much money he looks like he has, it doesn't matter how much money he looks like he has, okay? He could look just as broke as you. He could be wearing a nice suit and have a nice watch. It doesn't matter. The answer is no. Look at me. Look into my eyes. The answer is no. No, you can't come stay with him. Trust me.
I'm assuming that, because I got 3 points to make on this. I'm assuming that she's saying that basically the reason why she's homeless is because she refused. I'm assuming that she's probably homeless because she doesn't want to stay with a person, or she left her home, or something like that. But she has a place that she can stay, or maybe it's a parent's house or whatever like that. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is this, and this is assuming, right? We're going to assume that she's telling 100% truth. And I actually believe her in this situation, because this is not the first time that I've heard this from somebody that wasn't on the internet that was talking about it. The biggest issue is this. Yo, this is wild. Any guy that is looking at a chick that is walking down the street with a grocery basket or something, or carrying in an extraordinary amount of stuff that appears to be homeless, and you're offering her a place to stay, obviously we know that it's because you're trying to exchange that box, in order to give her shelter. This is despicable. It's diabolical. And as a culture, as a society, we got to do better. She got the grandma glasses on. Look at the grandma glasses. She got the grandma glasses on.
Doesn't matter.
Nah, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's there. Like, what? No, never, under any circumstance. Like, this just proves to me, again, making the assumption that she's telling 100% truth. This proves to me that guys will bust down anything. And if you're sitting here and telling me that they won't, or that there's this higher standard, I think that there's a higher standard amongst a certain demographic of men, the majority of us. But if for people from all socioeconomic statuses doing this, it's wild. That's point number one. Point number two is that if guys are probably offering you to come stay with them, it's a strong possibility that you run into a serial killer. Honest to God. Like, maybe not everybody. Maybe other people is really just trying to save you, and they trying to preserve the box for themselves. But it's another possibility that you possibly running into a serial killer. And that's an issue also, obviously, for obvious reasons. But you don't know if she is serial killer. Man, y'all don't know them. When I see guys that interact with girls, regular everyday women, let's remove the homeless aspect of it out the window. When I see guys that are interacting with women and they willing to take them home that same night, and they willing to take them to their place the same night, that's an immediate red flag. An immediate red flag. If she's willing to go with you the same night, with all of the diseases, with all of the ways that she can airdrop your location, because I've seen guys get set up by women and they got caught up and robbed and almost killed and pistol whipped with their drawers down, because that's the most vulnerable state. I've seen women be sent in to target guys. There's a lot of guys and a lot of reports that came out of Miami and come out of Vegas of women that go to hotel rooms with guys and they drug them or they poison them or something like that. And then they wind up taking all of their stuff and they rob them. And they starting to catch a lot of these women, but a lot of the women don't get caught because most guys don't report it. Either they in a situationship, or they embarrassed, or they got caught up in some stuff, or they don't even know who the chick is, and there's no way for them to be able to find them. And so there's a lot of instances where women are setting guys up. Now, I know that this is falling on deaf ears for guys that participate in this type of nonsense, because they don't really care. They're going to do what they want to do. And the one thing that I've learned about guys in general is that it's very difficult to convince a guy to not have boxolitis. Very difficult to convince a guy, hey, don't fall for the box, don't fall for the games, don't fall for the okie doke, stay focused, stay on your grind, stay on your hustle. Don't get yourself caught up in a situation. You got to have a level of discipline so that you're not getting accused or you're not getting caught up with a chick that's setting you up. It's very hard to convince a person not to do such a thing. So, when I'm having this conversation, I'm having it knowing that maybe I can pull one guy out, maybe I can create a little bit of awareness, but in most cases, dudes that simp, like we can't even convince guys not to simp. Hey man, don't get yourself caught up with this single mother that got 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies. And it never fails. If she show a little bit of cleavage, then you're gonna be right up in there and you're gonna be sending DMs and you're gonna be saying Grand Rising Queen and all of this other nonsense, right? So we gotta be a little bit more mindful and we have to be a little bit more focused, which brings me to my third point, right? Women have a built-in shelter system and it's called a box. It is an advantage that obviously no man should want. I guess there's a few homosexuals out here that's willing to couch surf and willing to give up good D in order to have a shelter over their head instead of going to work, and doing what you want to do and not letting a woman control you, saying that she could put you out of her house. But women will always have a physical advantage over men because they got that built-in box that allows for them to be able to get away with, and then ultimately, if they want to, they can find shelter. Which makes me question, and it's the reason why I'm kind of putting this whole conversation into question a little bit, because again, I'm making an assumption that she's absolutely telling the truth and that she's correct. And I actually believe her in this instance again. But it makes me question women that say that they don't got no motion whatsoever. Are you telling me that you don't get approached by nobody, that no guy is interested in you, that they have no desire to talk to you whatsoever? It's got to be something inherently wrong with you. Or either that, or people just automatically prey on the most vulnerable or the easiest layup to be able to get a box. And I guess there is no easier layup for you to offer a homeless person or person that looks homeless, that got grandma glasses on, that's walking down the street with their Aldi cart or their Target cart or their Walmart cart, the ability to be able to get boxed. And let me also say this. You should feel ashamed of yourself, especially when she turns you down. If this woman is turning the guys down and saying, nope, I'm not interested, then you should really be hurt. Like, I wouldn't even come back outside and try to talk to anybody. I would just focus on my grind and get my money up and try to go to church and get some self-improvement, because if you're getting turned down by homeless box, that's a huge, you got much, much bigger problems than anything that we talking about right now. But I'm curious, like, do y'all really think that most, not even most, that some guys will stoop so low that they are willing to approach a woman that's homeless? Now, let me say this. Being raised in the inner city of Detroit, uh, it is not uncommon. Now, I don't know what it's like today, but it is not uncommon in the hood for guys to have these crackhead chicks trade them in some box or some head for some rocks. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of like, yeah, yep, I can see it. It can make sense. I remember Crackhead Kathy. Crackhead Kathy, I couldn't believe that these dudes was messing around with Crackhead Kathy. And they wasn't even ashamed about it. Like, they was like, yo, I got to get off or whatever. And they get Crackhead Kathy a rock and send her on her way. And I'm like, y'all are wild. Y'all some wild boys out near the streets. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T Gently, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. I love you.